Well, I'm not going to record the video. It's just audio. So you could still stand next to the company name if you want, though, if it makes you feel better.
Okay.
You're listening to the UnCommonCore podcast with your host, Thomas Howell.
I'm not really going to be doing too many of the streamers or the audio-video equipment, apart from Marantz, because Marantz is pretty popular. It's been around a long time. And so what do you have that you know about, that you have that's new in the Marantz line? I mean, it's one of the better sounding pieces. It's in the Hi-Fi Audio Show here.
Yes.
And people use it for integrated amps and for streaming and things of that sort. So what do you have now in your line that you could tell us about?
Well, what we're exhibiting and showcasing here today is a brand new 2-channel reference system from Marantz. And that's called the PM10, which is their amplifier, and the SA10, which is their SACD-CD player, along with Definitive Technology floor-standing STL Tower speakers. And that system has a retail of under $15,000, but it's a reference system that would rival much higher prices.
That's the whole system.
The whole system, all the speakers.
Right, you got a lot of these guys, that's one single mono
That's right.
amp. Yeah.
That's right.
Right. And another thing you have, I think that's interesting for the people getting in, is you have a nice little belt drive turntable too you introduced, right?
Yeah, I love that turntable. It's $16.99 retail, and that's a high-quality Marantz reference turntable as well.
Yeah, it's a very simple, one of these very simple belt drive turntables. It's the only one you
Very
sell. It
classic
looks
looking.
Nike. It looks kind of the old Rega look.
That's right.
Yeah,
Very well
and
said.
it's got the belt though. Is the belt on the outside?
It
It
is
doesn't
on
go
the
on the
outside.
inside like the
It's
Rega
on the
does. It's on the outside of the thing,
Okay.
which is the way most of the high-end turntables are nowadays. And are you selling different cables in there?
Audio
as well?
Quest is the brand
That's
of
the
cables.
one I wanted to come in about
Thank
too.
you.
I mean, Audio Quest is, for me personally, I have some favorite cables. Everybody's got their favorite cables, and Audio Quest is one of them. I like the Cardus, and the Audio Cardus isn't here, I guess, but the Cardus, which is a little more expensive, and then the Audio Quest, because you get what you pay for, and it's a good sounding cable, and they have them all the way from cheap to expensive.
That's right.
And it's just one of those, you don't want to think about what cable brand to buy out there. It's just one of the ones you could go with. Yeah, and the other one is the MIT, but the MITs are all over the place and how good the quality ratio or what you get out of it. And so, yeah, is Audio Quest coming out with anything new? Or?
Not that I know of, but there'll be some changes in the industry whenever we get HDMI 2.1, the next generation. Will be a much wider bandwidth. Everybody will need new HDMI cables at that point. But right now we're still in the 18 gigabits per second bandwidth, so there's no change yet. But there will be, for 2019, new cables that you'll need if you get a new system.
One of the things I don't think Audio Quest does yet, but some of the other companies do. Can you order directly from Audio Quest to get custom links and things like that?
I don't know that you can or not, but you can through their dealer network.
Yeah.
We build to the length.
Okay, yeah, so the dealer has the terminated
Right.
and everything you want. Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to mention that to the listeners because the cable is something that you can go crazy with, and it's complicated, and it takes, if you listen, you hear a difference, regardless of what some of the people say.
That's correct.
And so Audio Quest is just a good one. You can find them in any of the stores. It doesn't have to go into a high-end store.
That's right.
And
We sell them online on our website, valueelectronics.com.
And telling me a little bit before I let you go again, because I just want to touch on those pieces of equipment. But tell me about your store, Value Electronics. What are
So we're
some of the things
a
that you
mid to
sell?
high-end audio-video integrator with a retail showroom so that we can demonstrate our systems. And we do mostly mid to higher-end audio and video. So we build movie theaters, we do reference 2-channel systems, and we do, of course, surround sound. We're demonstrating, probably the only one here, with a Dolby Atmos 11-channel system in our Marantz room here.
Right. So this is a place where, somebody who doesn't want to go crazy with the high-end stuff, they either get introduced to the drug or they just want to get something good, they want to get something that's a little bit above the line of your average stuff. They could come to a company like
We're
you.
mid
The
to
place
high
I used to
end.
work in was like that.
Oh yeah, we're mid to high end and
Yeah.
we're nationwide.
So it's kind of affordable. What are the prices, real quick? Last question. What are the prices on your Marantz stuff, the amplifiers?
Well, Marantz has a fairly large line, and including a step-up reference line. We're only showing the reference products here, except for the Dolby Atmos.
The integrated amps and the reference
integrated
series,
amps
what are those go for?
run from $800 up to $2,000. From $800.
And the top end?
On the top end, there's a new amplifier coming out. I believe it's going to be $3,000, which is an 11-channel integrated amp.
Right.
And then we have the brand new, very high-end 2-channel integrated reference amplifier here. That's $8,000 retail.
Right.
And we're demonstrating that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of unique. I guess you and Denon are the only companies that really have that
That's
kind
right.
of
And they're
person
sister
in
companies.
mind.
They're sister companies.
Oh, are
Denon
they? I didn't know
Marantz.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, both similar
Yeah.
but different. But
That's
they
right.
appeal to
We're
like
set.
someone who's got the same amount of money in their pocket,
Yes,
basically.
that's kind of true. Marantz is a little bit of the step up.
And what's your name again?
Robert, Value
Robert.
Electronics.
Okay.
Robert Zimmer.
And the website for Value Electronics?
Is valueelectronics.com.
So it's VALUEELECTRONICS.com. Right. Okay, great.
Thanks
Thanks
very
a
much
lot.
again.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
All the best. Yeah. First off, tell me who you are, and this is you're a retailer, right?
Yes. Oh, hey, how's it going? Hi, my name's Arnold Martinez from Tweak Studio. We have a location in Chicago, and we also have one in Los Angeles. We are a retail store, and we're premier line. We are the premier dealers for Burmester, and we also have Solution, Airtight, to name a few brands. And a lot of the tweaks that we have here that we actually brought here at the show are the Still Point. We also brought some very special cables made by Wire World, which is their Ethernet cable that's been getting a lot of buzz.
Right. Let me just interrupt you real quick, because when I first came in, I was like, oh, good, great, because I have some Wire World cables myself. I have the Chromax is what I have, and I'm using it. You have wires for, and it's flat wire. It's good wire. It's I'm surprised because my favorite cables are usually Cardis, AudioQuest for good value,
Yes,
and the old MITs, which are it's kind of hard to find what's going on with that. And this one, but this one's hard to find. So you're the place to find them.
Yes.
Wire
absolutely.
World cables.
Yes, absolutely. We also do the MITs, by the way. We're actually their
Oh, you do the
premier
MIT
dealers.
as well.
Yes,
Okay.
we do. And we actually do very well with both. It depends, obviously, on what system people are using. It's got to
Right.
be a
The
system
MIT
match.
got a little expensive for me, but that's why I bought the Wire World. And in the past, my first high-end cable was this a 750 music hose and the 330.
I remember
getting
those,
right
yeah, back
into
in the
it,
days, back in the 90s.
And it was like,
Oh,
this makes
actually,
a big
even the
difference.
80s. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
No, they were good. I had those, the music hoses.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you get
yeah.
dirty and you clean them off. And another thing that I really liked, going back from the 80s, was one of the first turntables to really challenge the Lynn Sondek was the Soda. And I think
That's true.
Yes,
That's correct.
state of the art, and they're kind of hard to find also. So you guys sell those as well.
Yes, we do. We actually take them on custom orders, but we do have them in stock. We have maybe 2 or 3 turntables in stock that we order, so there's no wait time when you get them from us.
They're not as popular as they used to be, but they may be
They're
coming
not.
back because they were the big turntable to challenge the high end. They had all these great ideas. They had
Yes.
the suction pump, and they made the anyway. And it was a great sounding and a really good turntable, and it's one of the ones I recommend. I mean, I'm glad to see that you have it.
I do.
And and you have it here. It's the only turntable you have on display. What's the price ranges for the Soda? Tell me just a little bit about the
They
company.
start somewhere around the 12 or 13. I don't have my prices. Somewhere around the 1,200 range, $1,500 range, all the way up to about 10,000. Obviously, it depends if you want to get a package, what arm you're going to be using.
You could
with
get it
them.
without the arm.
You can
right?
get it without the arm. It's a custom order as well, so we've done very well with the line. We also have trans rotor, and we have the reed torn arms as well. Actually, it's also presented by Access Audio next door.
The hard thing, I guess, probably for Soda is that if you don't have the turntable out there, the great thing about it is the way it sounds, and so people can't listen to it.
Yeah, we
But
have
it
them
is
in
a good,
stock.
I know it's a good table.
They are.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about what we're trying to do, at least, there's so many online stores, which is great. We're trying to open our own online store sometime in the near future. But
Right.
in the meantime, we have 2 locations. So our objective is really to have people come in and be able to touch, feel, see, rather than just hearing that it's great. I'm a salesman, and I'll tell you everything's great. But the best thing to really do is just have the product on display and have something that you can demo to people. And that's
So
the best.
you're in Los Angeles, and you're where else?
In Chicago.
And Chicago,
Yes.
and you don't have anything online, but if someone wanted to do you have a website or something?
We
that they
do.
can look at them?
There is. It's www.tweakstudio.com.
So www.tweak.
Yep.
Studio,
.com. Our online website will be launched, and just stay tuned for that one. We'll just give a surprise on the next show, and we'll launch it.
Right. And so if they were interested in some of the stuff that you have, they can order it from you anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. They can call in.
And you have records as well?
We have records. We have, right here we're focusing on promoting the Still Points, the Wire World, the MITs. We brought some KEF speakers. We're also co-branding with our distributor here called Access Audio. So they have the room here next door that has the Piega loudspeakers, the airtight. We've done very well with airtight, most especially with their phono cartridge as well.
Right.
They're top
Well, these days I think it's hard. It's not like it used to be. There's not a lot of high-end audio little stores out there to listen to things like cables. You know, you can't go in and listen to cables anymore.
No.
So that's why I kind of like. On my experience, I know that the MIT cables are really good. The Wire World cables are great.
Yeah.
And especially like the Chrome and the Starlight, and they're not that expensive. And the Soda turntable is really good.
Yeah,
so,
and
I
this
saw
is
you in here. So.
Yeah, and this is actually a special order. I ordered this from them. This is actually a bird's eye maple finish. I waited 3 months for this table. So it's something that I take out of the box. It's never been owned, so at least people are able to see it at the shows when we go to the show. We pretty much join all the hi-fi shows in the nation. So we try to be that dealer that we can present most of the stuff that we have.
Right, and the Wire World, I would say, would step up right above, like, I mean, the AudioQuest has stuff in all different price ranges, and I like that stuff too. But this kind of is a little better, but it's only in certain price segments.
Yes, we also have the Platinum here. I don't know if you've ever tried the Platinums. The Platinums are outstanding. These are...
It's a different technology as well, this, right?
Yes, they're
a little different than
for
that.
me, I try not to get into the science of it. At the end of the day, you can make so much science and explain
Even
how
the
good
digital,
yours is.
because that's what I have. I have some digital cables. You can see the difference. as
Oh
well.
yeah, absolutely. I like the way you said that. See the difference because
Yeah.
you can. Because when you get that kind of transparency, you can literally see the female or male vocalist.
Yeah,
that's
I've
in front.
switched out the cables before, and you
Yes.
can. It's great.
No, I'd
And what's
love
your
to.
name again?
My name's Arnold Martinez from Tweak
Arnold,
Studio.
Tweak Studio.
Our
and,
phone number is 312-235-6561. Once again, that is 312-235-6561. You can also look at our website at www.tweakstudio.com. We're premier dealers for solutions, Burmester, and just go to our website.
Yeah,
You'll see pretty much
Burmaster
what
is
we
real
do.
high-end
Yes.
stuff too.
Fantastic.
Okay, great.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
very
lot.
much for the interview.
Thank you. I got an empty room with one of the best companies around here now. Actually, I got my own mic, but Audionote. That's what you have primarily, right?
It's all Audionote, yeah.
Audionote,
So really,
yeah.
from the tip of the stylus to the end of the woofer, it's all Audionote.
Well, let's go through it real quick because, and again, Audionote is one of those companies that's esoteric, it's high end, it's well known, and I mean, it's up there. It's the top of the flagpost, basically, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, we make this sort of the world's best audio products, but
Yeah.
you can drop down, to this sort of more entry-level stuff. We work on a level system starting at 0 up to sort of level 5, level 6. This is about level 2, level 3. So
Yeah, I've seen some of your other shows where you've got, a bunch more. I mean, you're higher end.
yeah, it's always difficult, sometimes to get the finer essence on the high-end stuff. So if you bring something that's a bit more sort of meaningful, you don't lose it in a hotel room. You're not going to get the best
You're not gonna
acoustic
get the best
environment.
acoustic
No, and the mains is never really great, and we don't use
Right,
mains
right.
conditioners and stuff like that. But in terms to just getting back to the character of the music and the performance from the musicians is really what it's at, and even this system conveys that.
Well, this is like engineered to the T as well. I mean, you have all these separate componentry. Let's start with the turntable. What are the different turntables you have? Do you have just one turntable?
This
or-
is, no, again, we do a range. We start off with a TT1, and this really relates to the motors. This is a TT2, so obviously it has 2 motors. There's 2 motors on the side. This is TT2 Deluxe. It has a high gloss finish. And
Now,
an
why the 2
external-
motors?
The 2 motors, we work on the principle of high torque, low mass. Okay? So an extra motor gives you that extra bit of torque, but we've got a light acrylic platter, so we don't have a 50-pound platter, you know, with a massive motor.
Right. I prefer the acrylic platters. I have a VPI, but I have an acrylic mat on there because I think the acrylic does sound better.
There's a nice, you know, transition between the acoustic of the vinyl into the platter and how the energy moves through it, but also really how it reflects back up to it, yeah?
Right, and you put it right on, no mat, right?
Yeah, we put it straight onto
Straight on, right?
Yeah,
That's a good thing about it. It looks good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we've got an arm 3. This is machined, the arm tube is machined from one solid piece of aluminium, so there's no breaks in it. Okay. And again,
And machined, right? Machined aluminum again.
yeah, CNC machine. So from the head shell to the end, is all one piece. We machine that out, and obviously it's tapered and, you know, bored out to certain sizes through sort of testing.
It looks great because some of the manufacturers nowadays are doing the 3D printing thing, and I don't know. I just like it.
Yeah, it's tried and tested. I mean, it's aluminium and it's anodized. Okay, so the anodizing obviously gives it a slightly hard skin. Right. Okay, and again, it's, you know, it's tuned in and designed. Then we've got an IO1 moving coil cartridge.
That's your cartridge?
That's our cartridge.
Well, you do everything.
We do everything. Yeah, we machine the poles for that. We heat treat the poles. We wind the coils. It's got a silver coil in it, so we wind the coils in-house ourselves. We manufacture.
Well,
everything.
That's what you're known for. You're known just like at the engine, like I said, engineered to the T. What's the whole price of this of your different?
This table's
turntables?
about $3,500. The arm's about $1,500, and the cartridge is about $3,000.
Right, and the surface is. You were talking about the surface of the table. What's the outside exterior?
This is the turntable's made from ply, 12mm ply, and then this is lacquered and high gloss polish. Okay, but we do a wood veneer.
Give people an idea what it looks like.
Yeah, we
do it with
veneer.
wood
We
too?
do wood. Yeah, we match the speakers. We get our cabinets made in Austria, and the same people in Austria make our plinths. Okay, we get those made in. We've got a factory in Austria where we make the speakers, and the supplier does the plinths as well.
And then you have the phono preamp, I guess, here.
This is a step up for the moving coil transformer. Okay.
For the moving coil, right?
Yeah, so this is an S8. This is a silver wound coils in this one. Palace straight into a phono stage.
So that combined with the phono stage, what's the price of those two?
This is about $10,000. This is a slightly higher phono stage. We bought this one on the moving coil, sorry. And this is an R0, which is our entry level, our lowest level phono stage. And again, that's about $2,000.
It's okay to match those together then?
We bought a slightly higher. To be honest, no, we bought a slightly higher.
Yeah, because I don't know if people would do that.
Yeah. What happened was we bought an S8 last year. We had a bigger system.
Because of the show.
Yeah, we had a bigger system and we sold it. So I just bought another one.
Right. So normally you wouldn't.
Normally you'd have an S4, which would be about $2,000 or $3,000.
Which would match the phono stage, right?
A little better, but that's it. You know, again, it shows you the because the neutrality of the systems, and you can go up and down. They're very linear, so we can drop stuff in and out like that.
Right.
It's not going to show anything up.
It's the cartridge is, of course, one of the most important things, though, right? In your phono, you're going to make upgrades and money,
Yeah.
And then you have an integrated amplifier here.
Yeah. So this is the Otto Phono SC signature. Okay. So again, you know, we in our level system, it's about level 2. This is an EL84. It's about 12 watts per channel class.
Right. And then that might sound crazy to people unfamiliar with it because we got a lot of different kinds of listeners. But 12 watts a channel, and it pairs with your speakers, and you get sound, you get volume, it sounds great.
Yeah, because the speakers are 94, 95 dB.
Right.
So, you know, it's a very high efficiency speaker. And it gives the amp an easy time, and the speakers are really doing most of the work for you. It's EL84 tube. So
yeah, it's a tube.
Yeah,
it's a tube. Is it a hybrid or just all tube?
No, it's all tube. Yeah, it's all tube.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to tell because it's covered out. A lot of people like to show their tubes off, but
yeah, again
but they're not in the preamps.
Yeah, we have open
mostly.
architecture, and this is obviously got a lid on it.
Right,
Yeah.
and so you got a streamer over here or
CD.
something?
This is just a CD player.
Just a
We
CD player.
don't do anything digital downloading, streaming, or
okay.
anything like that. It's all old school, I'm afraid. So it's analog tubes and CD.
Yeah, I'm afraid CDs aren't as popular as they used to be. I don't think they're...
That's true. I mean, what we tend to find is a lot of our customers have an extensive CD collection, and at this stage, they're not about to bin it for streaming. You know, they tend to keep it as a library and as a reference.
I still have my CDs.
Yeah, and
in the closet,
if you've got 10,000 CDs at $10 a go, it's quite an expensive thing to chuck out.
you could get a great sound out of the CDs, actually.
I think again, you know, obviously we're biased, but if you get the digital front end with the valve sound, you get quite a nice compromise. You know, it's not too bad. You can live with it.
Yeah, I mean, I that's the one thing I regret is, I mean, I never got up this high here to your end, but I had a Lin iTalk, their high-end CD player, and I really regret selling that.
Yeah,
I mean,
again,
it's like, you know.
yeah. I mean, I think the CD, it's quite interesting if you look at the longevity of it, in as much as the vinyls has kind of stayed and the CD's been and gone, you know, and it's each sort of invention of the way of storing music has a shorter lifespan. You know, it's like you know, it's like
And you have the CDs and you have the CD player and you keep it and you're
that's
happy.
It. Yeah. You know, if you invest a reasonable sum into a CD player and it's going to last you 10, 15 years, it's not a bad return.
Yeah. What's the price on that?
This is a CD3 and this is about $4,500.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Yeah, because I noticed the thing about my Lin is that they retain their value. Good companies, good
that's
quality
right.
stuff.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of the stuff on this. People buy Audionote and keep it because it does, you know.
And when it does go on sale, you're buying it. People are not losing a lot.
No,
It's
that's right.
good deal,
Yeah.
right?
People buy it and keep it. You know, the idea is that the music should be enriching your life. You know, you're going to buy it. We all lead busy lives, all running around. You know, things are going on, but you need to stop and find some time for music.
Right, and that's why the systems that sound musical I think are the best ones. Not the high-end, tricky ones, but the ones that sound really nice. And so, getting to that, just the last thing. Okay, so we clear out the room. It's still quiet, so that's good. I don't feel guilty.
Yeah, that's great.
Your speakers. Now, you have different speakers, or you just have these one speakers? I'm not too familiar with your speakers.
We do a full range of speakers. A small 5-inch bookshelf called the AX1.
Oh, great! I love the bookshelves.
Yep. So they're about $1,000.
Really, you start in at $1,000 bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then we do an AX2, which is a 6.5-inch, which cuts in at about $1,500, just there or thereabouts.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and then we do an AZ. We do an introductory sort of floor-standing semi-horn speaker, which is a 2-way 8-inch, and that's about sort of $1,800, $2,000. And then we move up to a closed box, first of the sort of proper Type K speaker. And again, you know, depending on the exact finish and variations of it, they kick out at about sort of $3,000. Then we do a J, and the J is a slightly smaller version of this. And then this is the E, which is basically what most people end up going for, really. And again, they start, you know, around about sort of $4,000 or $5,000 up to $100,000.
Yeah, well, this might sound unusual to people unfamiliar with it, but yeah, the speakers are what you spend the less money on, and you start with your turntable, your cartridge, and then you kind of go down to the speakers. That's what the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, it kind of depends. I mean, how you build a system. You know, some people might go, oh, I'll buy the amplifier first, and I'll build a system around that, or I'll do this, or I really want that, or you know, it's kind of personal. But again, one of the advantages with Audionote is you can play around a bit in the price levels, and it'll still give you the same.
Well, the
sonic
speakers
signature.
have the highest amount of distortion, so.
In comparison, you're going to get the most distortion from moving coil.
Yes, so the speaker.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just real quick. I think that's about it. Well, so if somebody's interested in seeing it, though, this is kind of the issue. Where do you have your stores? You don't sell online?
We don't sell direct. I mean, we don't have that much representation in the US, but if you go onto the Audionote website, we've got a dealer in the States. There's either Ben Jacoby or Robert Lighton Audio. Just contact us, and then there's some guys. And I know America's massive, right? But some guys at East Coast.
People don't realize how big it is. I mean, you can search and you can put the map. You know, and Europe fits right
in it.
inside.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, It is. I mean, we are a bit scarce, but you know, we'll always help out. So you can always contact us direct, and then we'll.
But
put
you
to a dealer.
you have a store in New York.
We've got a guy in New York. Yeah, we've got two guys in New York. Ben Jacoby is our sort of tech guy, and then Robert Lighton does some audio for us. He demonstrates more out of his house.
Probably in Los Angeles as well.
We've got some.
Francisco?
We've got guys in LA. Yeah, there's True Sounds, Nick Gowan in
What about
LA.
Berkeley, San Francisco? That's where the high-end stuff was originally back in the 80s.
We've got Warren Jarrett is down that side. There's a little bit, but not much. To be honest.
That was where a lot of the stuff came out of in the Bay Area.
I think so. Yeah, I haven't got that much experience in that area.
Yeah, that's where I come from, so that's why.
Oh, okay, you know that.
Yeah, and Vandersteen was that. I mean, a lot of guys were out of there.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you're in the audio shows.
We do all the shows, and we like to bring this stuff out because you can't always, you know, when you read about the review, you need to hear it, really. You
need to hear it.
You need to hear it. And we're quite happy to come out and say, look, this is what we do. It's a little bit different to everybody else because, you know, that's the kind of way we cut our stuff.
I mean, like I said, it's the engineering and the attention to detail, I guess, is what I was looking for before, and then the sound quality. It's musical, it's relaxed, and you forget about the equipment.
Again, it's that connecting link between listening, to another human being at the end of the system playing something to really for enjoyment. That's basically what it's all about. So, and you can get hooked up on the gear, and you can get hooked up on the cables, and you can just miss the music. And it's kind of like, well, no, we just go back to the music. I know it sounds a bit corny, but
if you're going to stick with it, then that's ultimately what it is.
Yes.
You came in for the music, and you stay
That's
for
right,
the
yeah.
music. If
Yeah,
you get
exactly.
something that sounds
Yeah.
musical.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I appreciate your time, and I think I'm scaring them out of your room, so I better leave pretty
Okay,
quickly.
all right, okay, take
Because they
care.
need to listen to it.
Okay,
So,
thank you very much.
again, thanks. So what's your name one more time?
My name's Andy Whittle.
Andy Whittle. Okay,
Okay,
great.
thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. This is Tom Howell. Ecosia is the better search engine. With Ecosia, your searches are more private and more ethical. Ecosia invests their profits to plant trees and regenerate deforested lands around the world. They plant in biodiversity hotspots where the value will be greatest for the environment and communities. Here's how it works. You search the web with the Ecosia search engine. Search ads generate revenue for Ecosia. Ecosia uses up to 80% of this income to plant trees. And for you, it's free. You're going to search the web anyway. Why not plant a tree while you're at it? https://ecosia.co/uncommon. And now, more from the New York Audio Show Part 2, Day 1, Entry to Expert. Can you tell us just real quick what the Aqua is and, like where people can find it? Because I think it's one of the best sounding I've heard.
Thank you.
I'm not familiar with it. I used to be in a high-end a while back and whatnot, and kind of could tell when I listened to something and the design. And so it's the one thing that I'm excited about. I want to make sure and get it on the podcast.
Well, Acoustic Quality is manufactured in Milan, Italy. And the reason why we took it on is because they use ladder DACs instead of chipsets. Linear power supplies, all for each section, and dedicated 44.1 without oversampling. The dealer in New York is Rollo Audio. It's Rollo 14 at Verizon.net. And the importer is Well Pleased Audio in Virginia.
How long have they been around?
Aqua's been around for about 10 years in Italy.
Okay, so it's relatively new.
Yes, and the distributor, Well Pleased Audio, goes around Europe looking for good sounding units and tries to bring them in here. And what we specialize is bringing it to your home so you can hear it in your system where it counts.
Well, like I said, it's one of the things is if you listen to a lot of audio, sometimes it comes in and out, but then you hear something and it like rings a bell. It's like, that's good stuff. And that was what I liked about the Aqua. So what's the price range? I particularly wanted to get you on there.
The price range starts at $3,000 and goes up to $17,000.
And you make, what is the equipment that you make? You make preamps, do you make integrated amps? Or?
No, well, that would be linear tube audio. It's a David Burning design. They lease David's designs and they manufacture them for them.
Okay.
Tubed audio, they make a line of preamps and amplifiers. We use them with our speakers, and we also use another line out of Hungary called Audio Hungary.
So that's pretty much preamps and amps for the Aqua.
Correct.
So when you look
Which
in
are
there, you see the Aqua.
transformerless. That's where David's Burning's designs are notary because of no transformer. It's called a Zodal network.
Right.
And it's just amazing what he accomplishes without the use of transformers.
Yeah, and like I said, you notice when you listen to it, if you're familiar to listening to high-end stuff, you notice it right away. And I see the Aqua on there. Great. So people that are listening and are like, well, what is this? And they live in Los Angeles or California and they live in different parts. Where can they find this stuff?
Well, if you contact a distributor, Well Pleased Audio, they'll give you information.
Well-placed audio.
Well Pleased.
Oh, well-pleased.
Well Pleased Audio.
Okay.
They will have a dealer contact you with their information, and when the customer is ready to call, the customer calls. They don't push.
Right.
And the other thing that we do is when we do get a customer, we ask them if they'd like to be a listening center in their area. And they have people come in and we offer them, a discount on future products for their help.
Right. And that's wellpleasedaudio.com.
Correct.
Okay, and your name?
My name is Charles, last name is Rollo, and I'm Rollo Audio. I'm here in New York, and
Right.
we do all the home demos in this area.
Right. Okay, well, again,
Thank
you're
you.
very busy, and it deservedly so. I mean, I think this
Thank
is
you
like one of
much.
the things. It's a little weird in a hotel room, but I wish you luck. It's a cool product.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so this is, like I said, on my way out, I wanted to get OHM. OHM has been around for forever, since the beginning.
40 years now.
And they've always had a unique kind of a, it looks exactly the same. The speaker looks exactly the same.
It's just this, it's the same, but it's different. It's evolutionary improvements, like majority of speaker manufacturers are using woofers and tweeters and mid-ranges, etc. that look the same as they did in 1940. Our inverted driver configuration is similar, but it's had 40 years of development, just like they've had 50 or 60 years of development. And they get better and better every year, using the unique technology.
The thing about the OHM, compared to some of these other high-end things, there's something about you turn the volume up really loud in order to get it to sound like a real band or a real person performing live, and then it's very loud. With the OHM, you walk in and it's a lower volume, but you still get the feeling of a live performance going on in the room, which is what I like about it.
I think a lot of that is the imaging effect, because your ears are hearing the people there, and your mind is saying, yes, this is the real thing. We optimize our sonic balancing for about row 10 to 15 in Carnegie Hall. That's the level that I try to design the speaker to sound perfect. But it's because they are not relying on the conventional woofer tweeters bouncing all over the place. You just hear the main initial wavefront is perfect, and that's what your ears are really have thousands of years learning to hear that snapping crack over in the corner may be a predator.
What are the prices?
Basically, for very small rooms, they start around $1,400 a pair, and for giant rooms, go up to about $15,000. But the majority of our sales are under $5,000.
And if someone are they hard to find, like in California?
Yeah, we're factory direct and have been for almost 20 years now.
Okay.
So everybody has to buy them from us.
Well, that's
but our
good.
website makes it pretty clear.
How do they listen to them?
120-day home trial.
Okay, good.
And also we've learned we can talk to them over the phone and have a good idea of which model they need. We changed our lineup from good, better, best as you went up in money to as good as we could make for small, medium, and large rooms. So if you were, even though your budget could afford the big one, if your room was small, we'd talk you into the small one because it'll sound better.
Right, that's great, that's great. So just a couple quick questions, and I'll let you get back to the crowd because it's the public part now. But do you bi-wire the speakers like the older ones? There's no such thing as it's the way, because I don't know that much about the hookup.
It's really a one-way system. And the Super Tweeter's really doing only the top octave for all the work, so the bi-wiring is really unnecessary.
Okay. And another thing about OHM, like the Spankas, is that if you have a really high-end audio system, you can hear it fantastically, and if you have a really sort of an entry-level system, it still sounds far better than you're going to get out of any other speaker. I mean, there's only certain speakers that can do that. Yeah. Okay, well, listen, I'll let you go, and that's your system out there in the background. Your name again?
John.
Fantastic, and that's OHM?
OHMspeakers.com.
OHMspeakers.com. Great. Again, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye. No, okay, hold on a second. What was it? Oh yeah. Hold on. So what did you have? What do you have in here?
It's Alexis Audio Electronics. It's made by me. And Beach Audio is made by the gentleman that's around the corner. So if you have any questions...
Yeah, let's go in the hallway because like I was telling him, you could tell me about your company. I'm not that familiar with it, but it's getting crowded and I can't get the audio because of the copyrights. If they hear it on YouTube, they'll block it. So you're Norwegian. Where are you from? The company.
My company and my friend company from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, that's right. You're the ones from Brooklyn. That's why I was in your room earlier. I saw there is a video of you. I did want to come by and see your stuff. So yeah, it's made out of Brooklyn, but it's made in. You have different components made in different places, right? Where's it designed?
is designed all by me personally, because I'm a audio engineer since 1972 or 71, something like that. So I can talk about electronics like till like a couple of weeks, like something like
Well,
that.
that's why I came in your room, but I forgot the name of what was the name of the company again?
Alexus Audio. It's Alex US. Alexus.
Okay. And there was a couple of them that I was very impressed with. Aqua was one, and you were the other one. And the thing about you is you were out of Berkeley.
Yeah.
And you were introducing your product, what I heard. And so what do you have? What's the range?
The range is starting from headphones amplifiers and up to power amplifiers, monoblocks, single-ended Class A 845s, parallel, and it's 50 watt per channel, it's 8 ohms, and the preamplifiers, tube amplifiers also, phono-stage tube amplifiers. It has multi-standards starting from 78 and ending RAAA. So 5 different curves.
You said you've been designing for how long?
Not, let's say, my first amplifiers I made in 1965, something like that. But it was long time ago.
Okay, so it's tube mostly, right?
Yes, I designed a lot of solid state before, but I switched back to a tube amplifier.
Switch back to tube.
Yeah,
because I mean, nowadays in high-end audio there's a lot of tubes, but there's not a lot of tubes everywhere. But where did you first start designing it?
I designed my first amplifiers back in Russia, and I sold a lot of pieces there. Yeah, and when I moved to United States in 1992, I stopped building amplifiers because I have to make a living. Yeah. And I spent 15 years with sound by singers, as a technician. So it's not for microphone, but I have a good look on a lot of amplifiers. And all the time when I look inside the amplifiers, I was thinking it's not for audio. It's what the fuck is this? How people could do something like that? And over the sudden, when the business was closed, I decided to build my own amplifier because I saw what I've seen. It's for me it was so ridiculous. And
even the guys, I guess I could say it. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't, but I'll say it anyway. I mean, when I worked a little bit in audio a long time ago, back in the 80s, and the guys that were getting into it, like VTL, they didn't have a background. They were learning it, and then they learned it, and then they did it. They weren't like you, where they've had this history of knowing about tubes and tube amplifier design. Now they're this big thing, VTL. They do all this stuff. It's a big company. I don't know if it's marketing. I don't know what it is. But so your gear is I think it's better, probably better designed. You know more about the electronics from the beginning, and it's old school. Like I said, the Russian tubes are the best tubes. What kind of tubes do you use in your amps?
Output tubes is 845s parallel. It's a pure Class A. That's the reason it's not huge output power. It's it's not push-pull, so it's only 50 watts per channel, but 8 ohm.
Right. Well, some of those others, like the Carry and the VTL, they'd also go out of adjustment, occasionally. You'd have to bias them quite a lot.
Okay, let me tell you what I'm thinking about the bias. Because it's very important, bias is only for output tubes, right? And 99%, you never know what exactly current is going through your tubes. But in my amplifiers, you can see actual current all the time. If you see it's out of range, you can see it right away. In 99% of amplifiers, you never know until you hear. You cannot even listen to that. Right. But in my case, so if your tube gets exhausted, but it's common thing, so you can adjust it and raise the bias a little bit, and your tube lives increase is minimum twice.
Right.
So you can exhaust, let's say like that, extort from the tubes everything what they could give you.
So you're not always having to replace the tubes and go out there and find them.
Yes.
Yeah. Are they still making the tubes that you're using? They're still making them.
Because it's a growing market, I could say, definitely growing market. Because they switching, maybe not so fast as I like, but it's still going back to tube.
Do you sell the tubes as well?
No, I'm not a tube seller.
Okay. But the tubes that they need for your amps and your preamps, it's easily available. It's not like something they have to search for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And I personally, my company doesn't give warranty for tubes. It's obviously because it's not my department, let's say like that. But all other stuff is under 10 years warranty from my company.
Right.
So
10-year warranty. Okay.
10 years. If you bought amplifiers from me, so you're good for 10 years.
Right.
I think it's for a customer who is buying amplifiers, it's extremely important in my opinion.
Right. Especially tubes and
Especially
stuff like that.
tube
Especially
amplifiers.
tubes, yeah.
But no warranty for tubes itself.
Right.
So it means if you buy it from me.
Well, of course not. Yeah, the
so
tubes wear out. There, you get different quality of tubes.
Yeah,
and stuff
exactly.
Like that.
So it's a different story. So all the time you like a wide range of different brand of tubes you can
As well, right.
So it's like, but I'm trying to like build my amplifiers in in the middle. So from not the cheapest one and not from expensive one. Right. So it's like in the middle. But the result you can hear in my room.
Well, there gets a certain point where there's a diminishing return as well. So there's, like people don't want to sell their house in order to buy an amplifier. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but you make the preamps, you make the amplifiers, and that's it?
Phonostage.
Phonostage, good.
And also I build a passive preamplifier. That means like there's no gain physically, but it's still controlled by microprocessor, and each click you make, it switch a different compilation of resistors.
Yeah, passive amplifiers are great because there's a lot of things you don't have to worry about. It's just going straight in.
Right.
It's just eliminating a lot of stuff.
Right. There's no distortion.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero.
Yeah. If you can get by with a system with that, it's the best way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, where do people find it? Where do people listen to your gear?
It's very easy. You can make an appointment and listen to them. I can arrange it.
Well,
I
let's
don't
say
have
they're
a
in
showroom.
California or something. I mean, do you have an online store or?
Yes, of course I have an online store. It's at www.alexusaudio.com.
ALEX US Audio.com.
We have my card.
Yeah, and they can order that from you. And then where else? Did you have stores in California and different places as well?
No, I don't
New
have
York.
retail stores.
You don't have retail stores.
No.
Only online, and then if you want, they could come and listen.
Because in my opinion, any high-end audio equipment should be listened.
Right, of course.
Otherwise, if I could tell you, your phone number, dial it for me and listen to my amplifiers. It's ridiculous, right?
So but they can come to your showroom.
Yes.
Or you can go to their house.
No, I don't
You
agree.
they go to your showroom.
Yes.
Okay,
It's only
in
one
New
way.
York.
Yes.
Right.
Brooklyn, New York, Coney Island.
Right. Oh, Coney Island.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, Brooklyn's a great place. What's your name one more time?
Alex?
Alex, okay.
Yes, I'll give you my card.
Okay, and this is your gear. Yeah, I'm glad I ran into it and you came out and got me. This is definitely something I want. For advertising on the UnCommonCore podcast, go to www.advertisecast.com/1306. That's advertisecast.com/1306. Think 13 6-year-olds. Or you can be a patron. Just go to www.patreon.com/UCC podcast. That's www.patreon.com/UCC podcast. Find us on the web at www.uncommoncorepodcast.com or www.uccpodcast.com. Hug the Pug merchandise can be found at hugthepug.com, and if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button.
You've been listening to the UnCommonCore podcast with Thomas Howell. I'm Satoko Smith. Thank you for listening.